Hi guys, welcome back. Today I wanted to talk about something that I've been struggling with this week, and always, and that is saying no. So today, I guess I just wanted to talk a little bit about it since I've been exploring it, why it is, especially for me, that it's so hard to just say no to people. And it doesn't matter if it's just a friend that wants to run and get coffee or a pedicure and I'm just not feeling up to it that day, or it's something at work where I'm honestly being asked, do you have time for this right now? And I don't, but I don't want to say no. Or if it's somebody asking me, a serious question or for a favor or for help with something, I have a really hard time with it. And so I've been struggling with that this week in particular, and I just kind of wanted to break it down for myself a little bit and then kind of share it with you guys. So what I did is I just kind of thought about it, why is it so hard for me to say no? So I got to have a few little things that kind of boiled up, I guess, that I wanted to touch on. So the first one, and probably the biggest one for me, is that saying no makes me feel like I'm a bad person. I feel like I should be willing to help anyone who asks, or do a favor for anyone that needs one, or even just say yes if somebody wants to get coffee, because if I don't, then I'm not being a good person. I'm not being there for that person, and I don't want to be perceived as selfish, because I've dealt with selfish people, and selfish people are the worst. Like, people who are truly selfish and can't see outside themselves, I guess, it's really hard to deal with and can be very hurtful, and I don't want to ever do that to someone else. So I just have this fear that if I say no, I'm going to appear selfish, or that I'm going to appear like an uncaring person. And I don't say this in a negative way, because I don't really have a negative view. That's not necessarily true. I'm just going to go there. But I feel like a lot of that is from growing up in church and just kind of having, the role models as women, especially women in the church, who are always giving so graciously and always there for everyone and there to be there for people and pray for people, and all of those matriarchs of the church, I guess. And just, not that was stress that I needed to be that way, like, not that anyone put that pressure on me, but those were the role models that I saw. So in my mind, I'm thinking, well, those were good people to me when I was little. Who knows if they actually were? I don't know. But to me, that was what I should aspire to be. And I feel like, ever saying no to anyone is putting me further away from being like those people, if that makes any sense. I feel like that's what I was always taught. Not necessarily from my parents, but just in general. And probably a lot of it does have to do with being a woman, to be nurturing and be there for people and not say no, to continually give, and not be selfish. And I don't know, I just have such a hard time with that. So the second reason that boiled up, which I honestly probably is just as big of a reason that it's so hard for me, is that I'm so scared that people are going to be mad at me. I don't want to, I feel like if I say no to something, I'm going to hurt someone's feelings, or I'm going to mess up their plans. They're going to think that I don't like them and that I don't want to spend time with them. And, if it's something where someone's asking me for a favor, or, asking me a serious question, I can't think of a good example. but something, I don't know, I can't think of a good example. But something that might come up that I would really need to say no, that goes against what I believe in. I don't feel comfortable with that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to be around that, some sort of situation like that. That might create conflict. I don't want conflict. I don't like conflict. It makes me so anxious. I don't like people being mad at me. It's a whole other video as to why that's such an issue. I don't know why it's such an issue for me, but it's a side tangent. But yeah, I just don't want to create a conflict. I don't want to say no and have somebody come back and say, well, why not? That's really selfish of you. Why can't you do this for me? Why don't you want to do this with me? Or, well, that's stupid that you feel that way. You should be able to do this, or you should be comfortable with that, or whatever the case may be. Which kind of leads into the last thing that boiled up kind of when I was journaling about this. And that's that I always feel like I don't have a good enough reason why. In my mind, just saying no, I don't want to do that, or no, I don't want to go out to shopping today because I just kind of want to hang out at home. Like, to me, that's not a good enough reason. Like, if I don't have other plans, then saying no is not an option, even if I don't want to do it. Or yeah, just like if I don't have a conflict of schedule, ooh, thunder, my feelings about, the situation, or whether or not I want to do something or commit to something, whether or not I want to do it, to me, should be irrelevant. I should be willing to do it because it's going to make someone else happy. It's going to make someone else's day easier. Like I need to put my feelings aside, or what my wants or needs are that day aside, because they're not as important as what someone else needs. Because again, I should be giving to other people. I shouldn't be selfish. I should be willing to do whatever it is that anyone needs me to do at any given moment. And I realize kind of how insane that sounds when I say it out loud, but I also still feel it. Like, I say it and I'm like, yeah, I should be willing to do whatever anyone else needs or wants me to do at any given moment. That's how you are a good person. That's how you're loving and giving to your friends and your family. And you should be willing to lay down everything for anyone at any time. And I should do it with no hesitation, no annoyance, no feelings of annoyance, nothing like that. And even though even though my therapist tells me that that's not true, it's still how I feel. And I know that's not healthy, because that's how you drain yourself. I started thinking about, okay, well, how can I turn that around? How can I stop those, or not stop those feelings, but acknowledge them and kind of redirect? And the first thing is just to kind of turn the tables. I mean, if I called up a friend and said, hey, do you want to get coffee today? And they're like, nah, I'm hanging out at home today. No thanks. Okay. Like, am I going to be mad at them? No. Am I going to stop being friends with them? No. Am I going to assume that they don't like me? And that, I think, is the key, because I will. So, and I will assume that they don't like me anymore because of my own anxiety. I assume that other people think the same way that I do, and they do not. And I have to remind myself that many times a day. Because they don't. Not everyone is this crazy. So yeah, I have to kind of get in that mindset of saying, okay, well, if somebody said no to you, when you asked this or wanted them to do this, or whatever, would you feel the things towards them that you think they're feeling towards you? And most of the time the answer is no, absolutely not. Why would I feel that way? And so that helps me kind of, I guess, put it into perspective. And then the second thing, which I think is much harder, is to feel okay, or to acknowledge the fact and really feel it, really know it, that my truth and my feelings are just as valid as anyone else's. You know, just because someone asks me to do something or to say something or to feel a certain way about something doesn't mean that I have to. I'm allowed to be my own person. I'm allowed to feel my own feelings. I am allowed to say no and know that my reason is good enough. Even if that reason is, I just don't want to. It is good enough. I don't want to. That's how I'm feeling. That's what's important to me. I'm having a hard time finding the right words, but you know, like, this is my decision. It's my decision. It's okay for me to make that decision. And if my truth is that this makes me uncomfortable, or I don't want to do it because I'm not feeling well, or even now I'm trying to make it, you know, good enough excuses. If I don't want to, that's okay. Me just not wanting to do something is okay. And then even beyond that, you know, me confronting someone maybe with a different opinion than mine, or even if I just see somebody doing something that's flat out wrong, that I know is wrong, it's not an opinion, I can say no, that's not okay. And I don't have to give a reason. I don't have to explain myself. I don't have to convince them that my thoughts are valid, that my opinions are valid. I don't have to convince them that I know what I'm talking about or that I'm a good person. It's okay for me to express a negative feeling towards someone and not make excuses for it, I think is what I'm trying to say. It's hard to put into words, and I hope that it's coming across correctly, but I think, you know, just in a nutshell, it's going to be hard for me, but I think it's so important for myself and for anybody to feel free not just to say no when you need to say no without guilt, but to be able to express other feelings as well, other thoughts, other opinions, without feeling the need to defend yourself immediately, if that makes sense. To go in saying, well, this is how I feel about this situation, and here's why. I don't want to offend you, so let me explain. You know, there are some situations where it's okay for you to say, no, I don't feel that way, you're wrong, you know, you're hurting people, and I don't have to explain myself. I don't have to make excuses for myself. I don't have to defend myself. This is how I feel. So if you're not okay with that, then we go our separate ways, because I don't want to have anything to do with that, with the way that you're thinking or acting. You know, I don't want to have anything to do with that, and that's okay. I don't need to. I guess what it boils down to really is, you know, I have to be okay with not everybody liking me. And I feel like saying no to people is a big, like, saying no to people is kind of a negative act towards them almost. It's the hardest thing for me, because I want everyone to like me. So it seems like that's kind of the running vein through this whole thing. So I probably should explore that sometime soon as to why it is that I so badly need everyone to like me. Because I have no idea. Most people, I won't say most people, I feel like Well, yeah, I feel like most people don't have that issue to the extent to which I have it. I guess it's the anxiety, you know, but it's gotta be stemming from somewhere. But like I said, like a while ago, that's gonna be a whole other video because I could probably ramble about that forever. So yeah, if you find me walking up and down the streets just yelling no at people before they even talk to me, maybe I'm just practicing. It's something that I really need to get better at. So I hope that, you know, my ramblings and my thoughts are interesting, hope maybe somewhat helpful. It's been great to talk with you guys, and please subscribe. Please feel free to share this video if you know of anyone that might benefit. But yeah, leave me a comment, let me know what you think. Let me know if you have any suggestions on how to feel better about saying no, I guess. How to do it without feeling guilty. How do you do it? Tell me how you do it. That would be awesome. So anyway, that's all. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next video, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.